All right, the trade also has a domino effect on the draft, with the Grizzlies moving up to 10, where ESPN's mock has them taking Josh Giddey from Australia. At the top of the draft, we have the Pistons going Cade Cunningham, followed by ultra scorer Jalen Green of G League Unite to the Rockets, and USC big man Evan Mobley to the Cavs at 3.
NBA Draft just 3 days away. Joining us now are ESPN draft analyst Mike Schmitz. And, Mike, Woj reported earlier tonight that the Detroit Pistons still doing their due diligence on the #1 pick. If Cade Cunningham is supposed to be a can't-miss pick, why are we even having this conversation? What do the other guys bring to the table?
Well, this is one of the deepest drafts I've seen since 2003, and I think that's why the Pistons are doing their homework and taking this thing up until really the final buzzer, because Jalen Green, in a typical draft, last year's draft, he's the #1 pick. Evan Mobley, last year's draft, he's the #1 pick. And with Jalen Green, it's his athleticism, his explosiveness that really stands out. 6'6", Zach LaVine type of athlete, but he was also incredibly productive. I mean, he averaged over 18 points a game in the G League bubble playing against grown men, and I've been able to sit down with him and break down some film a couple times over the course of the last year. And he's as real as it gets. Like, there's no fake to Jalen Green whatsoever. He'll tell you, I'm the best player in this draft, and I'm coming for heads. Rudy Gobert, I'm going to come try to dunk on you. And I love that mentality that he brings. He's got a star potential. And then Evan Mobley, he's your modern big, right? He's 7 feet tall, incredibly graceful, can step out and switch on the perimeter, puts a lid on the rim, can handle, pass, has a little young Anthony Davis, young Chris Bosh in his game. So 3 studs at the top. I would take Cade Cunningham, but I understand why they're doing their due diligence.
All right, always during this time, there are picks who are moving up the draft board, especially in the top 10. Who are they?
Trey Murphy is maybe the biggest riser. This is a guy that most people had undrafted coming into the season. I mean, he transferred from Rice. He was 6'5", 6'6", skinny coming out of high school. Didn't have a lot of offers. Now he's 6'9", 7-foot wingspan. Shot over 40% from 3 this past season. Reminds me a little bit of when Cam Johnson had that rise out of North Carolina. Ends up going in the lottery a few years ago. We've seen the success that he had with the Suns. So definitely Trey Murphy. You hear him in that late lottery range. And then James Bouknight. I mean, he's helped himself as much as any other prospect throughout this pre-draft process. You hear him as high as 6 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. You hear 7 to the Golden State Warriors. 6'5", bucket getter, can score it at all 3 levels, very confident. And has had some workouts in the top 5, too, where he's really impressed. So those guys continuing to move up the board.
Well, we keep hearing that the world is catching up to us. So give me an international player, can't miss pick.
Josh Giddey. He's helped himself as well in this pre-draft process because he's been out in Vegas playing with the Australian national team, okay? Still 18 years old, but I watched him with a full practice against Joe Ingles and Matisse Thybulle, playing with Matthew Dellavedova, Aaron Baines, and he was the best passer on the floor. Like, he's a 6'8" point guard. He had 3 triple-doubles over the span of 4 games this past season in Australia, averaged almost a triple-double per 40 minutes. So scouts are talking about him as arguably the best passer in this draft, and I think he has a real chance to go in the top 10.
Well, if you look at the last 2 NBA MVPs, Euro players, Nikola Jokic and Giannis. He's our ESPN NBA draft analyst, Mike Schmitz. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.